Occupational English Test. Sample Test 1. Listening Test. This test has 3 parts. In each part, you'll hear a number of different extracts. At the start of each extract, you'll hear this sound. You'll have time to read the questions before you hear each extract, and you'll hear each extract once only. Complete your answers as you listen. At the end of the test, you'll have 2 minutes to check your answers. Part A. In this part of the test, you'll hear 2 different extracts. In each extract, a health professional is talking to a patient. For questions 1 to 24, complete the notes with information you hear. Now look at the notes for extract 1.
In this part of the test, you will hear Dr. Jean Matthews interviewing Michael Fraser, a patient with a recent problem.
Good morning, Michael. Come on in and take a seat. My name is Jean Matthews.
Hello, Doctor.
Well, can you tell me what's brought you here today?
Well, to be honest, I haven't been feeling well for the past week or so.
That's no good. What sort of symptoms have you had?
I've had a fever for a few days. It comes on worse in the afternoons as well. I have been feeling a bit nauseous as well.
And are you taking anything for that? Panadol, things like that?
No, I haven't. I've just been trying to tough it out.
Okay. And what about your eating habits? Have you noticed any change to your appetite?
Yeah, well, I don't seem to be as hungry. I haven't been able to complete my meals without feeling a bit sick.
And with the nausea, has it ended up in vomiting?
Yeah, I did vomit actually, both yesterday morning and this morning. That's one of the reasons I thought I'd better come and see you.
Okay. And what about any other aches or pains generally?
I'm feeling little bit tired, and I've had a few pains in my joints, and I've been a little bit stiff in the mornings.
And have you noticed any other sort of changes, such as yellowish skin or in the whites of your eyes?
Well, I didn't, but my wife commented this morning that she thought my skin had turned a bit yellowish.
And what about the colour of your urine? Any changes there?
Now you mention it, I do think it's become darker in colour.
Okay, I see. Now, Michael, I'd just like to get some background details before we go any further. Could we start with your age, please?
I'm 38.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
And any children?
Yeah, I've got 2 children.
And how old are they?
I've got a daughter who's 9 and a son who's 11.
Oh, lovely. Okay. And what about your employment? What sort of work do you do?
I'm a carpenter by trade.
I see. And you work mainly on building sites and places like that?
Well, I do work on building sites, but the company I'm currently working for now has quite a few overseas projects, so I do go overseas quite a bit with my work.
And whereabouts have you worked recently?
Well, this year I've been to East Timor, and I've just come back from New Guinea about 10 days ago.
I see. Okay. And just tell me a little bit more about your general health.
Well, pretty fine, I think. I eat healthily and I haven't had any complaints.
And do you smoke at all?
I do smoke, but I try to keep it under control. I suppose I smoke about 10 cigarettes a day.
Okay. And what about alcohol?
Well, I have a couple of beers most days, but my wife and I are trying to be responsible and have a couple of alcohol-free days each week.
Well, that's an excellent idea. Okay. Very good. And now, just to go on to your family history, what about your parents? Are they in good health?
Yeah, they're both in quite good health. My father, he retired a couple of years ago, but he's fine. And my mother, she's, well, She does have high blood pressure and she does take some medication for that, I believe.
Okay. And do you have any brothers or sisters?
I've got 3 sisters and they're all well.
Okay, good. Well, Michael, your blood pressure is certainly excellent and you're not overweight.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear that.
But what I do think, based on your symptoms and the jaundice and everything you've told me, I'm a little concerned that you might have hepatitis A.
Really?
Well, this is not something to be greatly alarmed about, but it may be connected with your overseas travel. It's spread through fecal-oral transmission, and it may be that you've touched something and that's been contaminated, for example.
So you think I might have picked this up on one of my overseas trips then?
So yes, it's very possible. When you travel, do you eat the local foods?
Well, actually, because I do travel a lot, I am aware of the risks and I'm very careful with what I eat. I try to only eat food from the hotel, and on this particular trip I didn't eat out in the marketplace, and I always drank bottled water.
Okay. Well, look, I'm sure you did take proper precautions, but even when we do this, it's still quite possible. Sometimes the hotel staff may not have practiced the level of hygiene required. They might have touched utensils or food that you've eaten, and that's how this can be picked up. So,
I see. Well, this is a real nuisance for me, Doctor. If I've got this hepatitis, what can I expect to happen now?
well, the first thing we need to do is confirm this diagnosis, and for that you'll need to take a liver function test.
I see.